Hello, people, and welcome to Life Journal Jumpstart. Today is October 11th, and we're going to be reading through the book of Nehemiah 5 and 6, Psalms 146, and Luke 24. Well, Nehemiah has been given a call to restore and rebuild the walls in the city of Jerusalem. So as he returns and makes his journey back there, he also returns a third group of exiles back with him. And so while he's building and restoring, he also is facing obstacles by these two men named Sanballat and Tobiah as they're trying to discourage his plans because they do not like this idea. Well, another obstacle he faces is in chapter 5, where he's facing an economic crisis. There's famine in the land. The people aren't able to gather enough food for their families. They are in debt from borrowing money. The king taxes are too high, and they're literally renting out their sons and their daughters back into slavery. Well, as Nehemiah hears the situation, he addresses the nobles and the officials about this. And he's saying, hey, you are bullying my people, your expenses are too high, and you're actually selling them back into slavery of what they've been bought back out from. Well, in Nehemiah 6, we see that Sanballat and Tobiah doesn't stop at sabotaging the plans of Nehemiah, and they're trying to distract him from allowing him from coming down from the wall to meet with him. But Nehemiah knows the plans that they're plotting against him, so he doesn't even listen, and in fact, he finishes the wall in 52 days. And so I love it what it says in verse 16. He says, when all our enemies heard of it, and the nations surrounding us saw, they lost their confidence. For they recognize that the work has been accomplished with the help from our God. And I love it when they said the enemy loses their confidence because God is helping them and is for them. Man, what a good word that is for you today. And so we're going to jump into Psalms 146. We know the book of Psalms is a poetic expression of worship and confession and praise. And in 146, we see it is a burst of praises. And so this is actually the last 5 books of the book of Psalms. And so from 46 all the way to 150, it's all about praising God, lifting up a praise onto him. Well, we're going to end it in Luke 24, where we know Luke is a disciple. He's well educated. He is a doctor, and this gospel is told from his perspective. And so we're coming to the end of the book where Jesus, he dies on the cross, but death doesn't destroy him. And so Jesus makes certain appearances here and there with his disciples. And so they're actually in this like emotional roller coaster because they're doubtful, they're in joy, and they're also in awe of everything that is happening. And so Jesus, he actually reminds them in verse 44, these words I spoke to you while I was with you, that these things are written about me in the law of Moses and the prophets and the Psalms, that this will be fulfilled. And so Jesus is reminding them, hey, don't worry, rejoice, I've returned, I'm alive, because this is what has been prophesied before. And I love it when Jesus ends and he ascends back into heaven, he reminds them of the promise that he's about to send them the Holy Spirit. And may we be reminded as well that the Holy Spirit is promised to us today as we continue to trust in Jesus and be led by him. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you again. God bless.